YouTube, I've got this BMW X4 brand new in here to paint today. I've got a brand new bonnet and a couple of blends. Well, there's a repair on that fender over there. There's a bumper bar to paint off this job too, but there was some damage left over on it and had to re-repair and re-prime it. I also decided it was going to be easier just to fit the car and the bonnet in the both, squeeze the bumper in it with another job. So I've got some wet and wet primer in the gun at the moment. The inside of new panels don't need to be sanded prior to this wet on wet primer. It's funny, like you get some people like with these really strong opinions, but they're wrong. They're like, oh man, what? You can't just spray straight over a brand new panel with primer and it's gonna stick. I'm sorry that you can. It is a recommended method. And an approved method, I should say. On one of my videos where I showed you guys how to do seam sealer. There's a bit of a seam sealer trick. It's good to do. Sometimes cars have a bit of seam sealer up under the wheel arch. So I showed you the method and this guy's like, why the hell would you go and put seam sealer under a wheel arch? They're not meant to be there from factory. And I just said to him, mate, this does not even warrant a reply. This comment doesn't warrant a reply because it's just wrong. Like, you're aggressive and so opinionated about it. You're not even right. That's the worst thing about it. Like, if you were right and I was wrong, I'd be like, yeah, okay. But when people are actually flat out wrong about something and they come at you with this aggression, it's like, man, what fucking planet do you live on? Downdraft boost, always like to start at the bottom of panels. I always used to spray the inside first, but you actually get it a lot cleaner by spraying the outside first. Just give it a good pack rat and the last chance to get any dust off before I flash. Mix up 350 mils of wet on wet. Probably a touch on the high side, but I'd rather have a little bit much than run out. I just got fast hardener in there. Gotta bang these jobs out. I'm gonna use the standoff standard clear on this, and I've got my standoff base coat, mix and matte. Needed a little bit of colour matching. Colour code is the old Sapphire Black BMW colour, been around for years. 475 is the paint code. Still loving this Segola. I've got the titanium air cap on it at the moment. The feet. Got a big chunk of crap. I'm going to have to give that a sand out just here. So a bit. I'll denib them before I go and base coat them. But I've got a bit of time because I still need to start and clean this gun out and also mask those fenders up. So by the time I clean the gun out, mask the fenders up, that should hopefully be dry enough to sand. So yeah, I did use the fast hardener instances like that. My morning tea, lunch break is at 12 o'clock and it's probably rapidly coming up to 11:30 and I want to have my lunch time on time. We've got so much work out there, it's not funny. We've lost an apprentice in the paint shop recently and a detailer, so it's just put the workload so much higher on us painters. It's getting quite tiring. I told my boss this morning, yeah, you need to get some help in here for us because I can't keep this shit up. Like I'm going home every night and I'm actually physically exhausted. It's stressing me out too during the day. So that's one thing that I love about being an employee. The stress stops the second I jump in my car. I can switch off. When you're an owner, you basically don't switch off. So I'll just get a bit of 800 onto that. Just blowing a bit of air onto it softly. Just to help that flash off a bit quicker. Going to smash the clear on this. I actually used up just about all of that that wet on wet, so I'm glad I did mix up the 350. So I'm not sure how much of that you could even actually hear, but I think I've reviewed some of the footage in the past and it's actually hearable. Anyway, back to the masking on this thing. Come on. My collab blade must have fallen out of my pocket. Had it in there this morning. Resort to the old razor blades because I can't be bothered going and getting another one. It's all the way up in my box. Been a while since I've actually masked with a standard razor blade. Weird. Had some guy saying he can't figure out how to actually get those collab blades to work for him. Like, okay, well, I didn't like them the first time I used them. I found them a bit clunky, but stuck with them and I swear by them now. He was saying he was cutting his plastic with scissors. I'm like, okay, I don't know about that one, but hey, if it works for you, go for it. Doesn't bother me. Yeah, that's right, I've got to remember to get some photos. What time is it? Yeah, it's 11:30. Should be able to get this done by lunch. If not, maybe just do a 5-minute work through or something. Go get these jobs banged out.
Yeah, so the other two painters, they're out the back polishing. It's like, god damn it, we just need a guy to do our polishing and a guy to do our prime ups. Like, it's not really all his fault that the new guy that can't prime properly, but he can't. That's, at the end of the day, he can't do it. So we've got to do it. We've got to do our own polishing, we've got to do our own priming and our own painting, and there's still only 3 of us. It's like, wow, and we got this sort of first year trainee type guy, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know if he's going to really make it, you know. It's not the kind of shop that we don't have time to train him how to do putty ups. Well, we don't have time to tell him the same thing 10 times. That's what it actually comes down to. Like, and it does get frustrating, like when I've got a big workload on me, and then when you're telling someone to do the same thing 10 times, it's just like, come on mate, you're either going to figure this shit out or you're going to go and we'll find someone who can figure it out quick, you know. But that's what I said to the boss, like, I worked in big, like similar sized shops to this. I was doing my apprentice, and they do like a rotation with their apprentices, so when one apprentice turns like 3rd year, they get a new apprentice. So the 3rd year continues doing prime up because he knows how to do it. The 1st year we'll do the lunch orders and emptying the bins, sweeping the floors, start doing a bit of prep work here and there, but by the time he's turned 2nd year he'll be doing the prime ups, but he's had time to learn how to do it, and the 3rd year apprentice is the one that's trained him how to do it because he already knows what to do. And if they're not done right, it's the 3rd year's fault because he's got to oversee them. And then when the 3rd year turns tradesman, he just continue the, well, he'll either move on. Most of the time, apprentices don't usually hang around at the shop they did their apprenticeship in, and I honestly think that's a good thing. Like, I didn't hang around at the shops I did my apprenticeship in, and I think you're going to learn a lot more getting out there into the real world, you know. But yeah, here it's like they didn't really seem to plan ahead. They're just like, oh yeah, we'll just wait until this apprentice goes and then get a new one. And it's like, it's kind of too late, man. You put too much stress on us guys, and on the poor apprentice who has to try to learn how to like do all the 10 putty ups every night on his first day, you know. Oh well. And then it's like, when some of these jobs aren't quite right, like that's when it starts stressing me out. And so I said to the foreman, I'm like, man, these jobs have never really been awesome, like from the beaters around here. They don't send in like A quality work, the kind of stuff that I used to get back in Melbourne, you know. Like, I'm living in Perth now, and I've found that the panel beaters back in Melbourne are a lot better. Like the skills of the tradesmen over there are a lot better. But over here, like, you got to redo repairs and re-prime and stuff like that constantly. And that's what I said, like, if we don't have someone to do our polishing and we don't have someone to do our prime ups, that's when this actually really affects us and it really slows it down. When we've got someone to do the prime ups and polishing, yeah, we can do it ourselves because we've got 3 guys in the paint shop painting all the time. When we don't have that, it's just like, man, we're running around in circles chasing our tails, you know. It really is. It is so hard to find good workers these days. I swear. It's getting even harder. And I blame it on the school systems and the youth of today. I mean, part of it's their teachers, part of it's the system, part of it's their parents that don't teach them that they've got to be the best that they can be. But yeah, it's been quite a while since I've seen a young kid apprentice that I've just been like, yeah, he's got what it takes to be a gun painter, you know. Like I used to work with this apprentice, James was his name, back in Hawthorne in Melbourne, and he told me that his careers teacher told him not to be a spray painter. Like, he's gone up to the careers teacher and said, hey, I want to be an automotive spray painter. He's like, nah, don't do that. Like, why the hell have we got teachers in schools telling kids that want to do trades not to do trades? What the hell is that going to leave this country? Like, skilled workers are so important to this country. We're importing them, for fuck's sake. Like, we're importing people from overseas, but we're not training our own up to be the best they can be. And, you know, like, some tradesmen around the world, I've heard of some of the happiest, like, people, because, you know, like, I can look back at the end of today and say, hey, I've achieved something, I've done a bloody good job, or I've at least done my best. Look at that paint job, it looks mint, you know. Like, why the hell would some stupid ass careers teacher, who's probably barely even ever done a hard day's work in her life, sat in a classroom all her life, why would she tell someone not to be a tradesman? It's just insane. So that guy obviously got through, but it does have to make you wonder how many people that they've actually discouraged from getting into trades. Like, my brother went to university for 5 years and then became a graphic designer. I was earning more money than him by the time I was 30. You know, so he's probably got like university fees and all that, you know, the HEX debts or whatever they call it, to then get out into the real world, and he's even on less money than a lot of tradesmen, you know, so it's insane. Not a great deal you can do about it though. Still recording. I'm going to have to go out and clean that gun out, get a bit of 800 to scuff those D-nibs out with. And yeah, clean that gun out and change the batteries on the GoPro. Probably about to die. Keep those blends clean. I've got a new tack rag in my pocket too. Oh yeah, got to get that camera too for the insurance work. I might actually even mix my clear up now too, get that in the gun so I don't actually have to leave the booth after I base coat. Just stay in here for a couple of minutes between base and clear. Sometimes it can make for a cleaner job, not exiting and entering the booth so many times. I'll be back in a minute.